Dear.
Mr. Callahan! You do pop up at the oddest times. What are you doing here?
Throwing your crazy schemes.
Whatever it is, I hope you don't have to deal with Mr. Stonewall here. His sole function seems to be preventing people from accomplishing their business. Honestly, with him keeping the books, it's a wonder the Tannen gang got as far as they did. Have you seen Emmett?
No.
No.
You've heard all about his big breakthrough, the mental alignment meter. Isn't it exciting? And to think he didn't even realize the import of his discovery until I pointed it out to him. I've never known anyone like him, so oblivious to his own potential.
I kind of wanted to talk to you about Emmett and his potential.
Funny, I didn't spot it myself at first. In fact, for the longest time, I thought I didn't even like him.
Yeah. You know, those gut instincts are important. If you dislike to right off the bat.
Oh, but I didn't know him then. Now I know him inside and out.
Yeah, but
I appreciate your concerns, Mr. Callahan, but I can take care of myself. I know what I'm looking for in a man, and it so happens Emmett fits the bill to a T. That's Emmett Brown. Rhymes with clown, which I'm beginning to think you are.
just a simple mix-up, I'm sure.
I've no doubt of that.
You said that Emmett fits your bill of requirements for a man.
Yes?
What would that list be exactly?
You'd make a good reporter, Mr. Callahan. You know that? Well, his physical appearance for one thing. Emmett may not be Clark Gable, but he cleans up surprisingly well. I gave him my grandfather's white suit to wear at the expo. Oh, you should see him in it. He looks positively radiant.
Looks good in a suit. Got it.
And he's completely devoted to me. That's important. I've got no time or tolerance for playboys.
Faithful as a Labrador. Check.
Thirdly, and most important,
Yes?
well, his mind, of course. It's brilliant, and it's virtuous through and through. His own mind map shows him to be a model citizen.
Good brain. I see. And if it turned out that you were mistaken about any of these qualities,
Say, what's your game?
just curious, just trying to understand the female mind.
Well, understand this. I'm not some faint-hearted girl who'd run away at the first hint of trouble. I've made a big investment in Emmett. Not money, but I've sunk all my ambitions into him. I'd have to be thoroughly disillusioned before I'd call it quits with Emmett. Got it?
Uh-huh.
Now, Mr. Cub Reporter, is there anything else?
Rather hard for me to picture Emmett as a chick magnet.
Chick magnet?
A guy who gets the girls, motors running.
Motors?
Makes them, you know.
You mean a chic?
Yeah.
Well, it's a matter of taste, I suppose, but when he's properly pomaded and decked out in my grandfather's white suit, Emmett just glows. Makes my heart flutter a bit just to picture him.
You say you know Emmett is a model citizen, but you don't know him as well as I do. Did you know he once cheated some Libyans out of plutonium?
Plutonium? What would Libyans want with plutonium? I'm sure he had a very good reason. Emmett's mind map demonstrates conclusively his brain is oriented toward virtue.
This one time, to power one of his science experiments, Emmett hijacked a train.
Please, there hasn't been a train hijacking in Hill Valley since the days of Mad Dog Tannen.
Emmett's done a lot of shady things in his time. My vice principal warned me to stay away from him.
Your vice principal sounds like a dolt.
Emmett's done a lot of shady things in his time. My vice principal warned me to stay away from him.
Your vice principal sounds like a dolt.
So you say Emmett only has eyes for you?
Absolutely. It's almost embarrassing how devoted he is to me.
Well, it's good to hear he's finally settling down.
Yes. Settling down?
Ready to stop playing the field, as it were.
Playing the... Oh, you're joking.
But I can't help feeling sorry for him.
Who?
All of Emmett's other girls, now that he's with you.
Please, I think I know Emmett by now. There are no other girls.
I wonder what's gonna happen to Emmett's little black book.
Little black book?
Oh, it's legendary. That's what enabled Emmett to become the, Valentino of Hill Valley High. Gee, wonder if he'd let me have it.
You must think I'm pretty gullible, Mr. Callahan.
What the heck is this mental alignment meter of Emmett's?
Oh, it's an absolutely revolutionary invention. Measures a person's affinities, what he's attracted to, what he's repulsed by, that sort of thing.
Interesting. And it really works?
Well, of course. What's the point of inventing something that doesn't work? Or anyway, it works well enough for my purposes.
That's all the questions I got.
Very well then.
Hey, Artie, you see my Oriole?
You mean this?
Yeah, thanks.
She gets to come and go freely, and I'm forced to wait. I love it.
Hey, Artie.
Officer!
Officer,
Right. Don't blow your cover.
will you please keep your mind on the task at hand?
Can't talk right now.
Hey, excuse me.
Yeah?
When does the expo
Not till
open?
tonight. Anybody without official business here, please get off the grounds! You got official business here?
Yeah.
Well, stay out of the way of the workers. You look familiar. Do I know you?
Nope.
To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who... Oh, hiya, kid. Say, watch for the fellow who...
Got you to turn on Kid Tannen? You bet.
You look younger without your mustache. That was a dirty trick, you know, making me think it had gone and iced Artie.
I'm sorry, but it was the only way I could.
Ah, forget about it. I'm trying to. Yesterday's in the past. That's my motto. You gotta live for today.
Right.
So what are you doing down here anyway? Do you wish to pull the levers that control the future? At the expo, silly. Technology for a better tomorrow and all that.
Yeah, that's actually why I'm here. So, who are you supposed to be?
Don't you know your homework? I am Techni Muse of Progress. You can tell by the lightning bolts.
Must have slept through that class.
I'm supposed to be a goddess like. I'm the one who inspires all the great men who make the discoveries. And women too. Leave us not forget Madame Curie.
I never would. So, you work for the expo?
Yeah, ain't it a kick? I greet all the important guests. And on the final day, I get to bestow the golden sundial on the winning contestant.
Technique, Muse of Progress. Not a bad gig.
Artie got it for me. It's my entree into respectability.
Technique, Muse of Progress. Not a bad gig.
Artie got it for me. It's my entree into respectability.
Listen, I've got a proposal for you. I have this friend, right?
No dice. I'm only seeing Artie now.
It's not like that. See, my friend's in a relationship with Edna Strickland.
Oh, poor schmuck. I wouldn't wish her on anyone.
You see where I'm coming from. He won't listen to reason, but I thought she might call it off if she thought he and you were, you know.
Ah, you are an evil imp, ain't ya?
Sometimes a guy's gotta resort to underhanded tricks. What do you say?
Sorry.
Ah,
Edna might be a pill, but if I play dirty tricks on every dame who disapproves of me, well, I play a lot of dirty tricks. Besides, such stunts are beneath the dignity of Techni Muse of Progress.
look, my friend Emmett really needs help.
The one who's going out with Edna Strickland? You're darn right he needs help.
I'm not asking you to actually seduce him. Just make her think that you two have a thing going. It'll drive her crazy.
I guess it would.
So,
I wouldn't do that to another girl unless I was good and mad at her. And besides, it might tarnish my image as a muse.
so Artie's working for the expo too, huh?
Oh, Artie's doing swell. The papers made a big deal of him testifying against Kid. People have been beating down his door ever since the trial. The expo's darn lucky they could get him.
What's Artie's job?
Oh, he's a real high muckety-muck at the expo. He's in charge of all the money and the hiring and firing.
Not bad.
You're telling me, and super respectable too. It's a real relief for him to have a job where the boss never pulls a gun on him.
It's good to see that you and Artie are both doing okay.
We're more than okay. And if things keep going the way they're going, we may be more than just friends before you know it.
Well, don't get too serious too fast.
Nah, we're keeping things casual, for now.
Good. I'm sure Grandma will appreciate that. How's Kid's trial going?
Slowly. You know what they say. The wheels of justice grind slowly, but infinitely fine.
Except in Hill Valley, where they don't move at all.
What?
Nothing. It's just, something I heard once. So no regrets about turning him in?
None at all. I should have known better than to take up with him in the first place. But what can I say? I was dumb. I let myself get taken in by his charm.
Charm? Whose idea was it to put a science and technology expo in Hill Valley?
Beats me. Artie says it's all bred in circuses. But I ain't seen a single clown yet today.
Whose idea was it to put a science and technology expo in Hill Valley?
Beats me. Artie says it's all bred in circuses. But I ain't seen a
I'm
single
just
clown yet
repeating the same
today.
question.
See you, Trixie.
From this chamber of wonders, we bid you a fond adieu.
The Brown place is on Riverside Drive. Way too far to go on foot. Wonder how Doc's coming with the DeLorean. It's not as nice as my truck back in '86. Jeez, I hope I still have a truck back in '86. It's not as nice as my truck back in '86. Jeez, I hope I still have a truck back in '86.
Ah, good. You're back. Give me the full report.
She says she likes you because you've got a virtuous mind, you look good in a suit, and you're completely faithful to her.
Damn, she's got me dead to rights. Well, you'll just have to find a way to change her mind. I'll be here if you need any help. Do you need any help?
Have you figured out what's wrong with the time circuits?
Not sure. Possibly. It seems to me to be a simple wiring issue, but I'm double checking to make sure. All the basic equipment appears to be functional.
Any chance I could borrow the DeLorean? I want to drop in on young you at the lab.
Well, I don't know. Time circuits.
Listen, I promise I won't take it to 88.
Even so, I'm worried about letting it out of my sight while it's still behaving unpredictably. Tell you what, I'll take her on a test drive 1 minute into the past. If it passes the test, I'll let you borrow it.
It worked. Didn't it?
I'm afraid not. fact, the discrepancy appears to be getting worse. I arrived 6 hours ago.
Oh, too bad.
I didn't want to risk undoing any of the work you've done thus far, so I kept out of sight. But the timeline wasn't entirely a waste. I stopped by the hardware store and bought the parts for the chronometric analyzer.
A what?
The diagnostic device. See, I plug it into the time circuits and set them to cycle. When the green light goes off, I should have the data I'll need to understand the scope of the problem.
Hey, no driving the exhibits off the lot!
Looks like you'll have to find another set of reels if you want to get to the lab.
Man.
The century looks bright for our fair metropolis. Jump with us 50 years into the future for a peek at Hill Valley circa 1981. Courtesy of Al's Hardware and the collective imagination of mankind. Could this be our then course Al's Square? Will want to venture forth into the fresh air, occasionally strengthen one better excursion remains the same ride in this elevated super train of tomorrow. Why, they're underground. A network of burrows extends a mile into the earth, giving future Hill Valley's 10 million citizens plenty of space to work,
Nice
play,
rock.
and raise their
can't reach it.
families. And after the rain, what else? An artificial rainbow, reassuring all the good people of Hill Valley that their needs are taken care of, and life is sweet. And after the rain, what else? An artificial rainbow, reassuring all the
Nice
good
rock.
people of Hill Valley that their
can't
needs
reach
are
it.
taken care of,
Man.
and life is sweet. Pleasant dreams, Hill Valley. And the Expo would like to remind you that you can find everything you need to transform your dreams into reality by Al's Hardware. Tired of waiting for hardware nature to do our job? Just $18.95. Presto! An artificial rainstorm drenches the valley's thirsty crops.
Borrowing. Why would I give a diamond to him? He might get the wrong idea. Why would I give a diamond to him? I'm not gonna give a diamond to Edna.
Alright, there's a way we can keep looking for something.
If this were a real diamond, I could use it to cut that in two. But it's not. I wonder if that has a massage setting.
What is this?
I don't have any reason to give a fake diamond to Trixie. Come see the cars of the future. Brought to you by Statler DeSoto. If I'm gonna get to Emmett's, I need to find some wheels. I still got some work to do.
Oh yeah, I just need to get, like, wheels so that I can go to Finley's house.
My future wouldn't be built so shoddily.
Hi, Miss Strickland. I was just...
Break what you like, Mr. Callahan. It's no skin off my nose. Just keep away from Emmett's booth. Speaking of whom, I better go see what's keeping him.
I'll check on him.
I'll go check on him for you. I was just heading there anyway.
No, you weren't. The last thing he needs is another distraction at the 11th hour.
But...
Tut, tut. Not another word. I've got the rest of the day all mapped out.
Miss Strickland!
I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Heavens, you shaved off your hair, but Carl Sagan?
I'd like a word with you, if I may.
I'm not sure it would be seemly for me to be seen in the company of an alleged arsonist.
I think it may be in your best interest. You see,
Let's go somewhere where we can talk privately.
go. I'll keep her occupied till you get back.
Before I go, I want to talk to you.
Hey, Artie.
Hey, Mr. G-Man. How's the, undercover operation?
If everything goes as planned, we should be wrapping things up real soon now.
Well, when it's time for me to play my part, just say the word.
So you're the registration guy for the expo?
And chief accountant and paymaster.
Hey, you're coming up in the world.
And none of it would have happened if I hadn't responded to that subpoena.
You haven't met Sylvia yet, have you?
My contact person? Not yet. Is he or she at the expo?
I don't think so, and I'm pretty sure it'll be a she. I like Trixie's new outfit.
Cost the expo $14.89, but it was worth every penny. After all, she's the public face of the expo. Techne, muse of progress.
I don't suppose you miss working for Kit Tannen.
No siree, Bob. I don't know how I ever got mixed up with an abusive, gun-toting thug like that. He even stiffed me on overtime pay.
Keep doing what you're doing, Grandpa.
Grandpa?
That's our, code name for you.
Oh, ha! Funny.
Hang on, Emmett. Hope you're ready for a big breakup. Emmett?
Thanks again for your assistance, Detective Parker.
Detective? What the hell is Kid doing here?
Nothing criminal, I assure you. I was just getting a mind map of Mr. Tannen for our exhibition at the expo. The authorities wouldn't allow Edna and I to stage a demonstration of the mental alignment meter with a violent felon, but this little baby is just as good. Okay, so now what's next? Check the stew, sort the maps. Ooh, I almost forgot that.
Edna really is cracking the whip, isn't she?
Well, yes, but she's got my best interests at heart. Without her, I can get so distracted. Did she send you down here to check up on me?
Yeah, she wanted to come herself, but...
She's busy too, I know. Well, you're a poor substitute for Edna's lovely features, but make yourself at home.
Thanks.
No thanks are necessary. Without you, I'd never be where I am now. In love with the woman of my dreams, and a mere 6 hours from my first public triumph as a scientist. Wait a minute. 6 hours? Jumping Jehoshaphat, I'm running out of time!
The mind of a degenerate criminal.
This Kid Tannen's mind map, as captured by our mind map helmet.
You can tell he's a criminal just by looking at this?
No, but when it's fed into the mental alignment meter...
Weird.
Weird nothing. It's science.
How does the mental alignment thing work?
Here, I'll show you.
Hey!
The test subject wears this mind mapping helmet, which probes the brain by measuring fluctuations in skin conductance and electrical resistance on the surface of the parietal lobe.
Uh-huh.
When I turn on the mind mapping helmet with this radio switch, the subject is exposed to a series of visual stimuli intended to provoke a series of positive or negative responses, as indicated by these lights on the helmet.
Hey, is that...
As the responses are recorded, they're relayed to this special typewriter, which prints out a punch card that represents the subject's mind map.
All I see is a bunch of holes.
Well, to you, maybe. But to our mental alignment meter, this mind map is nothing less than a peek into your subconscious. Observe as I place your mind map into the MAM.
Layabout. Is that machine calling me a slacker?
No, your own physiological responses did. I'd be careful of that if I were you.
Why?
The rocket fuel experiment must have stripped one of the teeth in the hand crank. As a consequence, if you turn it for more than 10 seconds, it sends out an electric shock.
Damn it. What's cooking?
That's an old Brown family recipe for Hassenpfeffer.
Hassenpfeffer.
Rabbit stew. The trick is to add the cumin an hour after the carrots. Take a whiff. Isn't that just about the best thing you've ever smelled in your life?
It's, powerful, yeah.
I've got it on a slow boil for later.
Right, maybe I should basically test what those lights.
So this machine takes those little cards and tells you whether or not someone's a good guy or bad guy?
Kind of. Actually, the helmet does all the work. The mental alignment meter is just a glorified arcade machine.
So why not just go with the cards?
Edna says that people respond well to flashing lights and snap judgments. I can't argue with that. Every time I kiss her, I see flashing lights and lose all sense of judgment.
No kidding. What's this?
The mind map cards from the dozens of subjects I've tested during the last few weeks. I've got to get them sorted before the expo begins.
Why?
Edna's got this grand scheme to catalog all of Hill Valley citizens by their mental alignment. Isn't that cute?
Not really. How goes the bacteria farm?
Not so hot. The bacteria have kind of gotten out of control. I had to put a clamp on the nitrogen tube to keep the stench from flooding the lab.
Hey there, you stinky little bacteria.
clamp fall off again?
Yeah.
Put it back on. Well, I don't even know why I keep that bacteria tank around. Every time the clamp falls off the nitrogen tube, it takes a couple of minutes before I can get the stench out of the air. Whew.
Nothing happened.
Well, that button advances the slides during the mind mapping test. It only works while the test is running.
What's this typewriter do again?
During a mental alignment test, it takes messages from the mind map helmet and turns them into punch cards, like the one from Mr. Tannen over there.
Seems complicated.
Actually, it was all rather easy to put together, once Edna gave me the idea.
Sounds to me like you should be working on harder problems then.
What? Sorry, I've got to get back to work.
If I'm gonna take Emmett's mind map, I'd better replace it with another one. Ew!
Oh. Ah, that smells much better.
Darn it.
Ew.
How we doing, guys? Good. 2 minutes back.
Take care, you. I'll see you Friday.
Wait, I know that. That's John Wilkes Booth, the guy that shot Lincoln. So I guess he's supposed to be a negative figure. Yes, it's already stinky enough in here.
Okay, it's yours, that is. What's the letter? Just take whatever she said. We'll clean up a bit if you want.
Need to do the shopping today.
No, need to do shopping, yeah. Yeah, fine. Did you get ready? It's on 4 o'clock.
It's Danny Parker. He's a cop, so I guess he's supposed to get a positive response from model citizens. Ah. I don't know who that is, but he's clearly a Tannen, so I guess he's a negative figure. Ow! According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps. This button only works while the mind map test is active.
For God's sake.
It's It's a picture of Edna. Since Emmett's got the hots for her, I guess she's supposed to provoke a positive response. Ow!
Right, there is a way to do this, but I can't. Right, so this is.
What's this?
That's a can of used motor oil, rocket fuel waste, and assorted chemical sludge left over from my abandoned rocket car.
Gross.
Accounting doesn't enter into it, but it is disgusting. Would you mind disposing of it on your way out?
Sure. Hey, Emmett, I've got a... Whoa! Whoops.
What the heck?
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. Your suit's ruined. Edna's gonna be royally PO'd.
Wrong.
What?
When Edna gave me this suit, I realized that the probability of me keeping it clean was infinitesimally remote, so I spent a few hours whipping up this.
Whoa! What was that?
A chemical compound capable of wiping the grime off any surface.
Emmett, you'll make a fortune.
Not anytime soon, I'm afraid. Due to an inherent instability in its molecular makeup, after 12 hours, the cleanser's component chemicals break down into a series of cloth-shredding enzymes, rendering it unsuitable for commercial use.
Wait a minute. Does that mean your suit's gonna dissolve in 12 hours?
Hey, gods, no. The solution dissipates into the air after it's applied. But it does mean that after this batch of cleanser ages another 11 hours and 53 minutes, it would eat away this suit faster than 1,000 starving moths. And that would be a crisis of unimaginable proportions.
Why?
Because this suit belongs to Edna's grandfather, who wore it on his wedding day. Poor guy was gunned down just a few years later.
Emmett?
Well, enough wool gathering. Back to work.
That cleanser doesn't seem very portable.
It isn't, but this is.
Perfume bottle?
Yes. No. I mean, yes, it's a perfume bottle, but inside is a concentrated dose of my all-purpose cleanser. With a little luck, this should last me through the next 12 hours before its component chemicals break down into a series of cloth-destroying enzymes.
Clever. What the hell is that?
What?
Sorry, I thought I saw a tarantula. That doesn't need cleaning. I'd better not return it yet. I might need it to clean something. If only this stuff was several hours older, I could use it to dissolve Emmett's suit.
Alright.
What?
I was just thinking about the future. All that talk about Edna's grandfather made me realize something.
Please let it be something about lightning.
Life can be short, sometimes brutally so. So why not seize the day and grab your happiness while you can?
I'm not sure I like where this is going.
I was saving this for next Valentine's Day, but why should I? I know what I want.
Emmett, no.
I'm gonna ask Edna to marry me. Right now.
No.
Oh, right. I'll wait until tonight at the expo. It'll be much more romantic that way. Just think. By this time tomorrow, Edna and I will be engaged and will be the toast of the scientific community. And I owe it all to you.
You're welcome. Hey, Emmett, I've got to go out for a while.
I thought Edna sent you to make sure I wasn't getting distracted.
Oh, you'll be fine. It'll be safe in there. Hey, Doc. Mr. Sagan.
Excuse me a moment, Miss Strickland. I've got her neutralized for the moment. How's the plan proceeding on your end?
Got that gizmo you've got hooked up to the DeLorean?
The chronometric analyzer?
Yeah. What am I supposed to look for again?
A signal that it's done evaluating the time circuits. The analysis can take a while. Be sure to let me know when the light turns green, and I'll take her out for another test run.
It's about Edna.
Don't worry, she's not going anywhere right now.
That's good, but... Have you found out anything that can help me?
Only that she's stubborn, argumentative, and completely convinced of her own moral superiority.
Great, thanks, Doc. That really helps. What are you two talking about anyway?
It's a private matter. I promised I'd keep it between us. For the present.
She isn't starting to get under your skin, is she?
Heavens no. The memory of her older self wheeling me into the reconditioning chamber is just too strong. The younger version is decidedly more attractive.
On another subject...
Less distasteful.
Is it true that you only had eyes for Edna?
At that time, I'm afraid so. Always tended to idealize the opposite sex. I was educated in a boys' school. Jules Verne was always a little sketchy with female characters.
You haven't got time for a therapy session, Doc. Edna made a point of saying that teenage you looked great in her grandfather's suit.
I did cut a fine figure in that suit. She hated it when I got it dirty.
Was Edna right when she said you had a virtuous brain?
I do indeed. No criminal tendencies whatsoever. Solid citizen, through and through. That's how I was able to go so far in politics.
Yeah, I'm starting to miss Kid Tannen. Horrible news, Doc. Emmett's gonna ask Edna to marry him tonight.
But that's not how it happened. She didn't get me to propose until much later, that night at the lake.
Something I said must have caused him to move up the timetable.
Great Scott! This time travel business is trickier than I imagined.
I think I'm starting to get a plan.
Good. Tell me. No, no! After all, it's my history we're talking about. If I learn how you're planning on altering it, my resolve may weaken.
I suggested a little scheme to Trixie, but I don't know if she's gonna go along with it.
Pursue whatever strategies you like, but please don't tell me the details.
Dad never told me about a Hill Valley Expo.
It's Mayor Thomas's idea. He had visions of Hill Valley becoming a magnet for big investors in the technology sector. But they ventured forward after the third year when the influenza exhibit leaked into the concession stand.
Oh. Doc said to tell him when the light on his diagnostic thingy went green. Nope, no green light yet. If this were a real diamond, I could use it to cut that in two. But it's not. Emmett's formula, still as good as new. Never know when I might need to get some sticky substances out of some clothes. That volcano looks a lot like the one I did for my 7th grade science fair. Furs donated by Lamont's House of Ermine. At least they're going to a good cause. You're stuck tight in this tar. Press button to experience Hill Valley's primeval past. Okay, if this dinosaur is called a Tannosaurus, I'm gonna... Oh, whew. Maybe when Real Doc comes back, we'll take a trip to see a dinosaur. I don't want to get that covered in any messy oil. That doesn't need cleaning.
Times may be hard in Hill Valley, but our present worries fade into insignificance when we ponder our Pleistocene past. Is the wolf knocking at your door? Be glad he's not a Tyrannosaurus, king of the ancient lizards. And if you find yourself drowning in debt, well, you could be drowning in something a whole lot stickier, like the Hill Valley tar pits. This peek into the distant past is brought to you by Lamont's House of Ermine, reminding you fur is forever.
That doesn't need cleaning. It's a good thing I did this before Emmett's 12-hour time limit, where the cleanser might have dissolved the fur. I already sprayed him. Let's slip out of those furs, shall we?
Yeah, I kind of do know what to do, but I basically like to use the hints just to, as a reminder what to do.
I see.
I need to talk to you.
Excuse me, my dear. Yes?
About that gizmo you've got hooked up to the DeLorean?
The chronometric analyzer?
Yeah, the light's gone green.
Wonderful. If the systems check out, I should be able to take it for another test run. I've got to run ashore here, Miss Strickland. I suggest you think about what I've been saying.
Oh, I will.
When did you land this time?
9 hours and 37 minutes ago.
Ouch.
Frankly, it started to get a little difficult to avoid running into myself. Still, the time jump yielded some interesting new data on the Fox field. I'll run some more tests and we'll see what we find.
Doc's trip aged the formula a few hours. Not enough to turn it to acid, though. I need to talk to you.
Excuse me, my dear.
Not at all, Mr. Sagan. Take your time.
Much obliged, Miss Strickland. Yes?
Nope, no green light yet. It's not as nice as my truck back in '86. Jeez, I hope I still have a truck back in '86.
Alright, what do I have to do? Put the cleaner. Like that. Alright, so yeah, I gotta wait for this stupid light to turn green.
Hey, the light's green. That means Doc can take the DeLorean out again.
And your furry...
Hey, Carl.
I'm sorry, Miss Strickland.
Call me Edna.
It's
Your chronometer's gone green again.
Excellent. Let's hope this time my test run is a success. I'm sorry to desert you again.
Yes, well, you've left me with plenty to think about.
Yeah, any luck this time?
Depends what you mean by luck. My arrival time was off again.
By how much?
8 hours this time. Gave me the chance to take in 3 showings of Frankenstein. Good movie. A bit implausible from a scientific perspective, but I can see how my younger self would have been mesmerized.
What about the DeLorean?
Oh, yes. I did get one critical piece of information. The chromium elements in my circuits became unstable during the temporal shift. I should replace them with titanium.
Great.
Now, unfortunately, titanium won't become commercially available till the Kroll process is perfected in 9 years.
9 years?
But there may be another solution. I'm going to fire up the colorimetric analyzer again. Then, while installing it, you can... Uh-oh. Where did it go?
oh.
The lab!
You better get down there before she makes the situation impossible. I'll tend to a DeLorean.
Oh, oh, there it is.
Age to perfection. Hey, Emmett, I'm back.
Oh my!
You know, I thought you were coming down here to keep Emmett focused on his invention.
Oh, she is. But she's generously scheduled brief canoodling breaks every 45 minutes to keep my mind fresh.
Time's up, dear. Let's get back to work.
Shall we?
Now, Mr. Callahan, what can I do for you?
Mr. Sagan says he needs to talk to you back at the high school.
He does. Whatever for?
He says he wants to give you an interview about his invention.
One of those tedious cars of the future? Oh, that can wait. I've got to keep Emmett focused on his invention.
He wants to give you the scoop about his thrilling escape from Kid Tannen.
That's yesterday's news. Our invention will be tomorrow's story.
He says he's got a lead on the speakeasy arsonist.
He does he? Well, I'm not sure anyone cares about that old story anymore. but I suppose I could spare a few minutes in the service of solving a crime. Will you be all right without me, sweetheart?
It'll be tough, but I think I'll muddle through.
Try to keep him focused. He's so easily distracted.
Don't I wish? Emmett,
What?
your jacket's got a little,
Oh, no worries.
that doesn't need to be sprayed by fabric-destroying enzymes.
There it is. I've been looking all over for my portable anti-stick, anti-stain formula. Where'd you find it?
Out by the trash?
That's strange. I haven't been out there for hours. Oh well.
Are you gonna spray your jacket? It's looking a little dusty.
Not until it's really dirty. This cleanser doesn't grow on trees, you know. Well, some of the ingredients grow on trees, but the rest are synthesized polycarbonate
Really
detergent
dirty?
blends.
I can do that. I'll wait until you're at the expo to show Edna what a suit-destroying slob you can be. Now all I have to do is convince Edna that Emma's a degenerate criminal who's stepping out on her. Emmett,
What?
your jacket's got a little,
No, no worries.
you want to use the portable cleanser?
Oh, I'm not going to waste my portable supply until I'm out of the lab.
I guess I'll have to wait until you're at the expo then. Hey, Emmett, got a sec?
Why, yes. In fact, I've got several. Hey, how'd my mind map test get activated?
So, you and Edna, how serious are you guys?
Well, we both enjoy a good joke every now and then, but I'd say on the whole we're fairly serious people. Why do you ask?
No. What I mean is, how serious is your relationship?
Oh, well, as a scientist, I can't state this with 100% confidence, but I'm provisionally certain that I'm head over heels in love.
Really? With Edna?
What can I say? She's my muse. In the week since we've been courting, she's given me so many wonderful ideas.
You sure Edna's the right woman for you?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just think Edna might be a little dangerous.
Oh, I agree.
You do?
Like all independent women, she's a danger to the patriarchal status quo. That's one of the things I love about her. She shakes things up.
You have no idea. Don't you think she's a little controlling?
Controlling? Edna? No. She's just giving me a little much-needed guidance. Before I met her, I was such a flibberty-gibbet, always getting distracted by the slightest stray idea. But now, thanks to Edna, I stay focused on the task in front of me, like a narrow-band stream of stimulated photon emissions. Focus!
Isn't she a little cold?
Don't let the schoolmarm exterior fool you, buddy. Edna's got enough warmth to raise a liter of water from 0 to 100 degrees centigrade. Know what I mean?
Kinda wish I didn't. I just think you should be careful, that's all.
Thanks for the concern, but I'll be fine.
Is all this new stuff what you're showing off at the expo?
Yes, it's our mental alignment meter.
Mental alignment meter? They were working on some sort of rocket car.
The rocket propulsion system was far too unreliable, as that incident with Einstein proved. By the way, whatever happened to Einstein?
I wish I knew.
Anyway, I started tinkering with an alternate method of propulsion, but that was before things started heating up with Edna. Our conversations about the possibilities of applying technology to social ills pushed my research in a whole new direction.
What's a mental alignment meter?
It's the most revolutionary piece of technology since the cotton gin.
What does it do?
It reads and interprets the subconscious desires of the human mind.
Why would you want to probe people's minds?
Why wouldn't you? Imagine being able to diagnose mental disorders with a flick of a switch, or detect the truthfulness of courtroom testimony merely by connecting a witness to a small portable device.
The machine does all that?
Not yet. Frankly, right now the whole thing's just a gussied up potentiometer. But with years of refinements and a whole lot of investors, the MAM will be able to identify countless psychosis and neurosis, alcoholism, acrophobia, edible complexes.
And
then we can set about curing them, of course.
Of course. Anyway. I can't believe you invented all this in 2 months.
Well, like I said, there's not really a whole lot of inventing going on here. I just dressed up a $5 potentiometer with a lot of bells and whistles.
But
don't get me wrong, it does a remarkable job of telling whether a subject is currently liking or disliking what they're experiencing. But all the extra stuff about sorting out criminals from model citizens is mostly a bunch of hooey at this point.
what do you say we take a break for a couple of hours and go see a movie?
Couple of hours?
Actually, it may be more like 70 minutes.
I haven't got a couple of hours. I still got all these mind maps to sort, and the MAM's wiring is still giving me fits, and
I get it, you're busy. You sure you don't want to take in a movie? I think you'll like it.
strange as it may sound, I've got more pressing things to think about than going out to movies.
Okay. How are things between you and your father? I'm kind of surprised he hasn't torn down your lab yet.
Well, he's still angry with me and threatening to cut me out of his will, but I'm hoping that the civic potential of my mental alignment meter will win him over.
You can't marry Edna.
Why not?
You're too young to get married.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
Back in the old country, a man my age already have 2 kids and a farm.
What?
Besides, what's the use of waiting when you're in
You've got
love?
bread for a sausage sandwich, Max, yeah? No.
Don't know. I don't know, I can't remember. I don't know if I got those pops still.
Oh, we need to go shopping, key.
Hmm?
No, I haven't. Shit.
There's someone better out there.
Wait,
Trust me.
when's the making?
I know
Ah,
you mean
ready.
well, but look at me.
Well,
I'm an awkward
I like-
teenager with
yeah.
poor social
Yeah,
skills and a
things like
predilection for
that.
prattling on about obscure scientific minutiae.
A bit looser on the neck.
Frankly,
yeah.
it's a miracle that one
Yeah.
woman has found me desirable. It could be decades before another one comes along.
Right guys, I'm just gonna go do my shopping and then I'll be back.